All right. Man, I don't think I've gotten any more emails about this subject matter in comparison to other things, right? This was like, hey, we're going to talk about this because I was out for most of the week. So I'm finally getting around to this, and I'm going to give you my quick thoughts. This as a quick recap. We'll go over what's going to happen. But I want to start by saying this. No, Tim Drake is not bisexual. I'll explain that here in a little bit. But recently, in a recent comic, Robin was deemed to be this version, who he's been Red Robin, has been deemed as bisexual, apparently going on some date with some other funny looking dude. And now all of a sudden he wants to date men, even though that's never been what he is, and it's not been alluded to. Now, of course, you're going to get these goofy motherfuckers, like, for example, the guys that write articles that don't even know that there's multiple Robins and there's been multiple Robins, or the goofy motherfuckers who see like a Saturday Night Live skit or some like version of this Carol. He was always gay. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. You're a fucking goofball. That's fine. You're a non-comic reader. That's fine. And that's cool to, get off little jokes on Twitter. Well, he looked like this, so he had to. Shut the fuck up. Shut your bitch ass up, please. Just shut up. Just shut up. Like, I'm not even aiming that shit at you, you goofy motherfucker. Continuing on, though. Reason why I say he's not bisexual, because as far as I'm concerned, nothing DC puts out right now through their own fucking company is considered canon. At best, it's fan fiction, and it's not very good one. In fact, the fan fictions of actual fans is probably better. But you get what it is that I'm saying. It's just not canon. I don't even, you wonder why I don't do comic books covers, like as far as like coverage, excuse me. I don't do that. I used to do my little stand down or camera looking overhead going through current comic books. I stopped doing that because, for the first time I think in my life, well, I won't say in my life, but my adult life for sure, no pull list. Don't care. Like it's not real, right? It's stuff being wrote by goofballs. And the people that they're trying to appeal to by making this move is the same people that won't buy comic books. They'll say, oh, it's cool. They'll tweet about it, they'll Instagram about it, and they'll never, it's like, oh, this is awesome. Never buy the book. Never buy future books because they don't care. Right? And what you're saying to current fans is that anything that happens before, canon doesn't matter. Continuity doesn't matter. Tim Drake banging Stephanie Brown doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He's just up and it's the Iceman thing. Just up and gay. Just gay. Or let's say he's bisexual. Same thing. Not the same thing, but you get what it is I'm saying. He's loving up on a sex that is the same as him, which he's never done that. Never alluded to it at all. Never even alluded to it. Apparently, all of that stuff doesn't happen. And now, he's just bisexual. It's the Iceman thing all over. It's what they do in Wolverine and Cyclops. It's goofy, bro. It's just goofy. And it's because you have people that are writing, unfortunately, a lot of people that are writing that aren't necessarily fans of this work. I mean, we've talked about this before with DC Comics, Ta-Nehisi Coates of the world, Vita Ayala's, Kelly Sue DeConnick's, Kelly Thompson's. These are people that shouldn't belong anywhere near. They fell upwards. They get in charge of books. This is just where we're at right now. And this is why modern mainstream comics are failing. They do stuff like this for the clicks, stuff like this to appease weirdos that may watch a movie, may, 5 years from now, they'll adopt them and say, well, it happened in the comics. Comic that they don't own, that they don't read, something that they read on some fandom Wikipedia site. That's it. That's who this is for. That's who those stories of Tim Drake going to some dude kissing up on men now, going on dates with men. Like that's what happens. It's so out of character that it doesn't make sense, but it didn't have to. Because they're not writing this for actual comic book readers that care about this stuff. So to prevent yourself from going mad, just don't consider it canon, because it's not. Just take it for what it is. It's weirdos who are now in control of properties that you guys have grown to love. That's it. stuff like this happens, and I just become more and more enthusiastic about my own personal work that we're doing with my comic book universe and my comic book company. See, my job is to try to give people something that they can get invested in, and they'll actually have someone that's attached to it that gives a damn about the product and isn't trying to appease the weird leftists on Instagram and TikTok and shit. I'm in the interest of actually, selling books, number one, competing with them, but more so with those concepts that actually matter. See, it's not simply about, well, the character is gay or the character's no. If the character started out that way, that's one thing, right? If when something like that happens with North Star, you expect it because he was gay early on. This motherfucker Tim Drake's been a thing for 30 fucking years, and now all of a sudden he's kissing men. Like, that doesn't make fucking sense. Especially when you consider his relationship with Orphan, aka Stephanie Brown. Like, it makes no fucking sense. None whatsoever. See, I personally think these people just get off on taking things that people already know and love and destroying them. I really think these people get off on this shit. I do. And they know that it's gonna get people riled up, but don't even treat it like it's canon because there's goofballs writing it. It's not. But seriously, guys, and I've said this on every time when we will continue to cover this as I'm writing my own stuff and coming up with my own stuff. But when stuff like this happens, you see the glaring opportunity it is for people that are not attached to the big two. Because what's going to need to happen is that the big two right now control the game. There are independents. There are independents that are doing well, but they control the game. They're only seen as the legitimate comic books for some reason. That needs to change. And it will. I think it will. If they don't pivot. And there are these other guys that are not, I hate using the term independent because, it's just basically not attached to Marvel DC. Those will rise, force the hand of Marvel and DC, or they get ran into the ground. So we can it's going to have to be a reset button. It's simple as that. We know it's not just happening with Marvel and DC. We see that it's happening with so many other big brands you guys love, Star Trek, Star Wars. It's a lot of goofy stuff going on right now. We're going to have to create our own. It's going to have to be basically our own stuff. People that are attached to it to have some sort of passion, because everything that you've known and loved, you might as well just stick to the back issues and consider that canon, right? Just stick to that. Even they were telling a decent story. That just happened in DC when you had the rebirth period and you had Stephanie and them, trying to work out their relationship with Tim when he was Red Robin, and this is when they were part of the Bat family with Orphan and Spoiler and Clayface and Batwoman and Tim Drake, of course, Robin and stuff like that. These are great stories that are being told, and they just botch everything. That's just what it is. So it's goofy. It doesn't make sense when you consider this character, who he is. There's no reason to take the shit serious, but there is a reason to, if you are participating in creating, or you are a person that wants to get invested in it and become a customer, there's a lot of opportunities to see some alternatives that are going to have to pop up, because these two are just dead. They're just bankrupt. They're creatively bankrupt. So they are taking characters and they're trying to run them into the ground. I think a lot of the actual writers, I think they get off on that. I really do. I do believe they get off on that. You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.